Hello, my name is Tanay Tiwari and welcome to Buzz This Week, a show that believes in being socially responsible. हम Manali नहीं जा रहे. We're just looking at those pictures of Indian cricketers in England. We are vicariously #wanderlust. आप भी वैसा ही बनिए. Cricket news memes हम आपके पास ले आए. घर पे बैठ के आराम कीजिए. On the show this week, Sri Lanka's second string India challenge. Captain Mithali creates history and domestic cricket hits restart in India. Whenever there's excess of anything, the thing kind of loses its value, right? ज़्यादा मिठाई खा ली, मिठाई खाने का मन नहीं करता. ज़्यादा पढ़ाई कर ली, पढ़ाई करने का मन नहीं करता. This thing though doesn't seem to apply on two things. One is an Instagram break and the second is of course cricket. Because how else do you explain this? India are playing Sri Lanka again this year. This is the 37th year where Sri Lanka and India are at least facing off in one format or another. The last time they didn't face off each other in a cricketing year was way back in 1983. So I think India-Sri Lanka series is like an Instagram break. Jab man kiya, tab le liya. And the excitement around it is palpable. Prithvi Shaw and the rest of the Indian team came out of their bio bubbles and started practicing. And Shaw seems to be very excited to not only play for India in the Blues again, but also excited to play under the tutelage of his under-19 coach, Rahul Dravid, who he thinks will have a lot of value to add to this Indian team. While the Indian team is warming up and the rest of the world is also kind of warming up, अगर आपको लग रहा है कि सिर्फ Mexican Ocean में आग बबूला हो रहा है, तो गलत है. Arjuna Ranatunga, former Sri Lankan legend, is not very happy that India have sent a second string side to Sri Lanka to play this white ball series, to which Sri Lankan cricketers said that nahi, there are big names there. There are really big names there in the likes of Shikhar Dhawan, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, the Pandya brothers, there's Kulcha as well. So Sri Lankan cricket, there are big names there. And especially when you're loitering that low on the ODI Super League table, isn't it nice that you're kind of getting a second string side? उनके खिलाफ जीतकर कुछ points ले लीजिए आप. But first of all, Sri Lankan cricket, before all of this happens, make sure that you tie your players very tightly inside those bio bubbles. इस बार रिक्स नहीं ले सकते.
मेरे को इस बार रिक्स लेने का ही नहीं है. बिल्कुल रिक्स नहीं लेने का.
As for the Indian team in England, there's good news and there's bad news. पहले कौन सी सुनेंगे? Bad सुना देता हूँ पहले. Shubman Gill has sustained an injury on his legs, an injury that he didn't pick up during the games, but he picked up while practicing away from the field, which means he is in all likeliness out for at least the next 6 to 8 weeks, which means he's out potentially from the entire England tour. But itna competition hai us Indian opener slot ke liye, it's like UPSC. If Gill sits out, there's Mayank Agarwal and KL Rahul already in England, in fray for that spot to open alongside Rohit Sharma come the England Test series. There are also reports now that the BCCI has requested to fly in Prithvi Shaw, who's currently in Sri Lanka, to play the white ball series, to come and be a backup opener or an option in contention for that opener slot. If that tends to happen, that'll be a big turnaround for Prithvi Shaw, who had a torrid Australia tour in that first test match, was dropped, and for him to make a turnaround and be with the team India in tests again would be something else. अब बात कर लेते हैं good news की. First up, India, who wanted practice games in terms of first-class games ahead of the England Test series, they are in all likeliness all in readiness to be granted 2 first-class games ahead of that England Test series. They will start their camp in Durham, where they will in all likeliness now play 2 first-class games in the build-up to that big series. There is of course more good news. Indian captain Mithali Raj defied a clean sweep from England, stood tall, ensured that India won the final ODI. The scoreline in this multi-format series right now reads India 4 and England 6. And en route that, Mithali Raj became the highest scoring international cricketer in the women's game in the history of this game. She went past Charlotte Edwards' tally of 10,273 runs to sit atop the highest peak of run getters. Now that is an achievement worth celebrating, and it only gets better because the BCCI is now mulling over nominating her and R. Ashwin for the prestigious Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award. All that we can say for Captain Mithali is, Captain Mithali, here's a bus salute to you. Good news pouring ho rahi hai, sir. If there's good news from England, there's good news within Indian domestic cricket as well. The BCCI on Saturday announced that the Ranji Trophy is set to return. Yes, after a COVID-induced cancellation in the last season, Ranji Trophy 2021-2022 will return alongside an entire jam-packed domestic schedule, which will have 2,127 matches. The BCCI announced that it would hold all tournaments, including for the various age groups and women game as well. The Ranji Trophy, though, will be slotted in a 3-month window from November 16th to February 19th, 2022. First tournament of the season, though, will be the Women's One Day League starting September 21st, with the men's season beginning with the T20 format in the form of Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy from October 20 to November 12th. After very little domestic cricket in the last year and a half, to set the ball rolling on domestic cricket front is a heartening sight for every Indian cricket fan. And all that we can say is ye khabar sun ke
मजा आया.
there is more maza and more good news for Indian fans, as the BCCI is now reportedly looking at a 10-team IPL come IPL 2022. The tender documents for the two teams will be out in August. The teams will be finalized somewhere around October and November this year. And then there will be a mega auction after the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, where teams are reportedly being told that they will have an option to retain as many as 4 players, which means there's an exciting load of content coming in, not only from the IPL but also from domestic cricket, which promises to be very exciting. There is good news for South African cricket fans as well. After winning the Test series in the West Indies, South Africa beat West Indies at their home in their strongest suit, the T20Is. They held their nerve in the final rubber. South Africa downed the West Indies. This will be a huge boost for a team that had almost forgotten to win on foreign shores. And this comes right at the doorstep of the T20 World Cup. They really could not have asked for more. I thought to give you a bus challenge this week while doing a Virat Kohli challenge. Your bus challenge this week is to tell me the 2 spinners that you'll play in Sri Lanka. Sorry, Virat. The 2 spinners that you will play in Sri Lanka. I would give the chance to Kulcha. I really want them to do well. The 2 of them have been my favorite spinners. Would you choose different spinners? Perhaps a Krunal Pandya there, or perhaps a Rahul Chahar there? Tell us using hashtag Buzz this week on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. मैं ये दोबारा try करता हूँ. आप अपने जवाब भेज दो. That is all that we have for you on this episode of Buzz This Week. Until next week, remember, हम बार-बार आपसे कह रहे हैं, there is a Delta Plus variant outside and that isn't second string. उसको lightly मत लीजिए, घर पे बैठिए, मास्क पहनिए, sanitize करिए, social distancing practice करिए. We'll meet you next week right here.